The camera all of a sudden is like just whited out. And you see a squeegee come across it. And you see this sort of through shot as the cleanup of this scene has begun. Remnants of Egyptian food takeout on the table. You can now see through the streak. And then there's another wipe across. And now you can see fully through the camera lens. We see that we're looking through the camera that Troy was operating. And then the camera pops out to our camera. The 360 degree omniscient camera that is what we work with. Take the scene.
We just stepped in yogurt? Like, that's it?
Well, the feet is the important part. And the yogurt, I guess. Just be glad that it's not more this time.
I am conflicted in so many different ways.
You know, now that I think about it, you can probably like do an auto flush out anyway, so it's probably not a big deal for you anyway.
It's just... You know what? This one doesn't count. This was just weird.
Yes. Weird usually pays the bills.
I'm gonna give you some respect. It takes a lot of self-respect to get through stuff like that. So...
Yeah, heaps of it.
See, like, I can work with slime. I can go deep into a trash pile and no issue about it. I've never felt as dirty as I do right now.
Oh, you still have that, like, a conscience? Do you have one of those still? Pride, that's that one. No, you still have pride.
Yeah, no, I still have a lot of that.
Okay.
And not a lot of experience in the sexual aspect, so this was very much so just weird.
Okay. Yeah. Well, now you can put it in the book. Or on your resume, I guess.
I'm not sure if I want to be putting that as my forward applications.
You'd be surprised.
Hope what?
Are you applying to be a sex worker?
No.
In what field? In what field would covering your feet with yogurt be effective outside of sex work?
You'd be surprised.
I suppose I would be.
I was hoping to feel sexy after this. No. Anyways, how's our compatriot doing? You good over there? You enjoy the show?
Give me rolls from everyone.
That's a plus one.
2.
I don't need to check that. I don't. I'm missing a roll. 1, 2, 3. I know I'm bad at math. Didn't think I was that bad.
It did for a second for me, Wordy.
I didn't see anything.
It's still. You're like.
Kai's fine for me.
No, Kai's fine for me too. Was Kai waiting on a roll from Wordy, who is not in the scene?
Thank you.
Where is
Did Patty
Wordy?
show up?
Where is Patty?
I remember going out. I think Karen told Patty that she had a couple hours to kill. Right?
Okay.
It's been like 4 weeks for me, so I don't remember.
I mean, I watched the video, but honestly, keeping track of your scenes were fucking not my priority.
I watched the video about 4 weeks ago.
I had other details I was trying to hone in on.
Can you give me a second? I'm gonna pop in, pop out to see if that fixes the camera.
Alright.
Oh God. 6.
All right, you're back to normal for me. It just went weird for a second.
Let's just do 2, 6, something in there. Okay. Then I'm good on those rolls. Sabine looks up from the remote control to the hollow screen and just says, "What? Oh, yeah." And turns back and just presses a button.
I get her.
Krill's just kind of stun locked there for a second.
I have noticed some similarities in your personalities.
Look at Troy picking up on things.
I feel outnumbered, and it's not in a sexy fantasy way.
Have you had those?
Krill just turns to Karen, just like, pretend I didn't say anything.
No.
Krill just goes to find some clothes, and just focuses on internal blueprints for the time being, instead of letting the room, anything to make the room not feel like a boiling pot that is slowly turning in heat that she has no means of escaping. She's just gonna ignore it for a bit.
Well, what is Patty up to right now?
Right now, she's probably just sitting at some random table, just kind of just killing time. Just, coming out of the hospital, she's got nothing immediately to do, so she's not trying to do anything stupid right now. So she's just kind of, as a whole, just chilling, just keeping an eye out. And, in the back of her head, the paranoia that usually crops up now around that riddle, she's like, okay, if he finds people that are trying to kill you, then it's going to be perfectly fine. But if it turns out something else, that's okay too. Can't go assuming that they automatically want to kill you, because if they did, they wouldn't have done all of this. And she's taking a big breath and trying to let it go to the universe and just try to make her peace about whatever it is and just whatever may be coming for that if Troy finds something. She's just trying to center herself a little bit, just trying to relax. And so the people are passing by on the city. She's just watching out, just paying attention, just kind of feeling part of the city as the throng of the cars fly over as people pass by. But she's very much just in this moment, kind of waiting between one moment and the next. She's not necessarily doing anything super important, just has nowhere to be, so nowhere to go.
The camera cuts back to the now less yogurt covered room. And Sabine stands up and goes, okay, I can't be stuck in a room that smells like yogurt for the rest of this weekend with the 3, maybe 4 of you. So what are we doing? Where are we going? We got to do something.
Unless my presence is not necessary here, I can leave.
I think it's less about you leaving and more her wanting some actual conclusions to these endeavors. As far as I knew, we were waiting on a good time and place for our contact to decide if they want to speak with you, Sabine.
I mean, that's
Karen
all
is the
well and
only
good,
one.
but I'm not sitting in a room with multiple people all weekend long that is now covered in yogurt. So either we find a new place or a bigger place or something, because this has become unsuitable.
Under consideration. Troy, can we get a perimeter sweep to see if any unruly types may be watching the facility that we are staying in?
Attempting to access local cameras. And Troy just pops into the hardware layer, seeing if he can access the cameras surrounding the building. Roll or...
You're fine.
Alright, just going... I'm assuming that this facility probably has a fairly comprehensive security camera sweep around the area.
Nope.
Oh.
Criminals don't like to have their comings and goings monitored.
Good point. Well, seeing as there's not a whole hell of a lot to see, at least attached to the building, Troy switches over to adjacent buildings.
Okay. Give me your roll.
All right. That's a +2.
Hey, look at Troy. It's a +3 for you for an investigate. What are you looking for?
Well, we were just recently attacked by a gang by the name of...
Get the Saxons.
Thank you, the Saxons. Just the first initial sweep is potential Saxon activity. Potentially anything that may look fit within what little parameters he was able to gather from the invisible target. Potential sweep or potential shimmers from thermal camo, Saxon activity, other potential rival gangs as well. Anyone visible from the entrance look like they're waiting for someone.
You're closer to 65's territory now. Not quite in it, but you're closer to 65's territory. You're sort of pulled further away from the Saxons' turf. At this point, you don't see anybody at least rocking Saxon colors or patches. So nobody seems to be hanging out. People are walking up and down the street. Cars are going by. Motorcycles are going by. There is drone traffic, but none of it at least seems to be in a holding pattern.
All right. Troy just returns back to his body and looks over to the group and says, I am unable to detect any potentially suspicious activity. Nothing outside seems out of the ordinary.
Which means that leaves still possibility for an ambush, but more readily potentially our invisible friend.
I was not able to detect anything that fit the previously established parameters of the cloaked figure.
I don't think you would be able to, especially not with the cameras that are just, set up for street view.
That is likely.
Okay. Think we can get to the base safely enough?
That would work for a place for us to go. But Sabine, I don't think you would enjoy hanging out there all weekend. What if we left the place to you with Troy to help clean up and attend to you?
Okay, that'll work.
Troy, does that work for you?
There's a moment of hesitation from Troy. He definitely gives you a bit of a confused tilt of his head before looking back to Sabine and states, I believe I will be able to monitor Sabine.
Sounds like it works for everyone. We'll get out of your hair, so to speak.
Just, Troy will be your means of contacting us. So, if any messages need to be relayed back and forth, speaking to him is your best chance.
Noted.
Krill just cleans up any boxes she may have brought in, make sure all of her drones are on her, and heads out.
Karen follows behind.
The moment the door is open, though, not even like a second, the moment she gets that crack, Krill is doing a more pervasive scan on every bit that she can see.
Give me a roll.
That's a -1 for a total of +2. Is he seeing anything?
You see a parking garage full of vehicles. Not even full of vehicles. Down this far, there's really only a handful of vehicles, and chances are they belong to people who are utilizing the facilities in some manner.
How wide does this door open?
Door wide.
Okay. Brill just gently nudges Karen to walk side by side her when they leave, just so there's no space on either side of them.
Why?
Yeah, and I just let it happen. Just let it happen. I follow your lead enough tonight.
Consent is key.
Is the door closed behind us yet?
The door closes behind you.
And Krill gently just steps away. I don't like people with visibility walking into that room when we're given the opportunity to come and go. Yeah.
I have a feeling someone who has the ability to not be seen by any of us might be able to get in other than sneaking in the door.
Would they have more than that ability? Correct. Would have that still been the easiest and least likeliest way of them being picked up? Removing opportunities is still effective.
As soon as the door closes, Sabine looks at you, Troy, and says, so, spick and span, you gonna clean this place up for me?
If that is your desire.
Yeah.
And Troy just goes into the bathroom, rummaging through the tiny ass little like closet they have there with like a little teeny tiny like 3-foot long broom and mop. The barest essentials they have to keep this little tiny ass apartment clean, I guess. And he's just looking at it like wondering, this seems inadequate, before he just begins doing his best to clean up all the leftover foot yogurt in the bathroom.
Give me a roll, Troy.
All right. That's a +1.
Cool. So as Troy is cleaning this up, and so that's side eye from Aspen. As Troy is cleaning this scene of this foot yogurt up and the remnants of the foot yogurt scene up, what, you don't like the phrase foot yogurt?
The autism kicked in for a second.
Taste it.
No.
Remnant foot yogurt.
Okay, that doesn't even bother me. It was the description.
What are Karen and Krill doing as they leave this facility? Who's driving?
Oh, boy.
Who said we needed to drive?
Okay.
The car is right there.
Are you driving it?
Dalton promised he'd teach me, but okay.
Trust me,
Krill
you
just
don't
kinda-
want me driving.
Pearl just kind of huffs and picks her cases up under her arms, like, I guess we're going for a walk.
So we head off to the stairs, I'm guessing. Is there a working elevator?
Give me a roll.
You had to ask if it was working.
It's a +3.
There is.
Well,
Okay. We're in luck. After you.
Krill steps into what I assume is a very dirty, unmaintained elevator that is supposed to, as a cover, be unappealing and uninviting.
If you make it so.
Yep, yeah. This is the kind of elevator you see a few rusty needles on the ground.
Rusty and
Oh.
freshly used.
Oh, how I miss the industrial section.
I'm just glad that we didn't exceed the weight limit.
If we had my old body, we probably would have.
Used to worrying about that.
Yeah, you wonder why a freight elevator outside my old apartment was, strong enough to lift a entire forklift? Yeah, that's why. Never had to worry about it.
Good thing you never had to get certified.
As you're heading down the elevator, a message pops up for Karen. It says, how's our guest doing?
Oh. Weird. Yeah, so on our way back, we'll split up. We'll do the standard, go around about, get off, get on, take a little extra time back to get back to where we're going, which is the base.
All right. Thank you for humoring my obfuscation tactics. I'm sorry that we did do a circle in there, but listen, there is an invisible person, and this now makes my paranoia all the more justified.
Fair. Now that I know what you were doing, being paranoid isn't a bad thing.
Thank you. Okay. Knock knock.
You can make it
Patty,
on your
you
own.
home? Yeah, no,
Patty's not home immediately. She's coming from the shard.
So, as you make your individual ways around the city, three of you converging back, we cut back to the room with Sabine and Troy. The amount of time that it takes for the three of you to actually make it back to base. Troy has done the best he can. Part of the floor is probably still a bit sticky. But most of the yogurt has been rinsed down the sink or the bathtub at this point from the little mop, just over and over and over, that sort of thing. And it's by this point that Sabine looks at you, Troy, and goes, so what am I supposed to do for, food?
There's a thought pattern in Troy, as he hadn't really considered that. Then he's like, all right. Organic beings require sustenance in order to survive. I can potentially look into delivery, or I could potentially go out and bring back some myself. Whichever would your preference be?
Okay. Just want to make sure y'all aren't trying to starve me here. So, you just gonna sit there and stare at me the whole time, or what do you do?
I can avert my gaze if that would make you more comfortable.
Honestly, that's even weirder.
I suppose my primary function right now would be to maintain and monitor your health until this contact of ours is ready to speak with you.
Know how to play any games?
I have several form of games installed and ready to play in my database.
Okay. What you got?
I have chess, checkers, the basics, tic-tac-toe, although that one is not recommended. I can play backgammon. I can also synchronize with any media device to relay a small library of royalty-free video games.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to see what I was working with here. Do you watch TV?
I am programmed with a protocol, programmed with companion protocols that will allow me to watch and comment on TV.
All right. Well, pull up a chair, I guess, and let's watch some TV.
Very well. What shall we watch?
Give me a roll.
All right. That is a -2.
No, she is not trying to influx and chill. Besides, the new term apparently is badminton.
What?
Yeah.
What?
You
Yes,
heard it? You
this
heard
is a
about
real
it?
thing.
Yeah. The new one's
Yes.
badminton.
I can't remember. Is it China?
It's
that's
Hong
spreading
Kong
in?
or Singapore or something. It's one of those.
Okay, yeah. So,
Yeah.
um,
The government actually recommended you can play badminton, and it's gone
instead
viral.
of having,
Yeah.
you can play badminton instead of having sex.
Yeah.
So now kids are just saying, "Want to go play badminton?" And what they mean is go fuck.
Yeah. The new Netflix and chill is badminton.
I just found that.
Ironically, badminton players are quite upset about it because they use badminton to meet women.
They are. Yeah. It has kicked back on other they're like, why'd you fuck up my game? Like, yeah. Yeah.
The guys were genuinely asking girls, "Want to come play badminton?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of amazing.
Yeah. So the new one is badminton. Badminton.
Good old shuttlecock.
Yep. Yeah. So you pull up a chair and she turns on infomercials. And just looks at you and grins and goes, "Guilty pleasure." And we see the remote and a few button presses and eventually a channel change and more infomercials and more infomercials. And as a channel cuts, the camera cuts and we find ourselves back at base. Who has arrived?
Patty will come like a few minutes later after they've probably come in. Door opens up, the release of the gas, and she stretches out. So you ignoring me for some reason?
Does the day end in Y?
I was just asking how our guest is doing. That was it.
Fine.
Okay. All right. I was just checking on y'all. Like, I've been out for probably like an hour after the fucking surgery, so I was just keeping an update.
She's locked up at the safe house with Troy. You can ask them how she's doing.
Oh yeah, actually, she hits up her codex and then sends a message to Troy. How you doing?
Roy has just Roy's attitude has changed slightly after observing Sabine. No longer originally he was finding this position to be kind of indignified. However, Sabine has just admitted something he's never seen before. A guilty pleasure. Well, I mean, technically speaking, he has an encyclopedic knowledge of guilty pleasures. However, a non-sexual one in the form of trashy TV, I guess, for lack of a better term, is interesting to him as he's taken a sudden curious glance over to Sabine. And he's asking, or, he's observing between her and the infomercial, stating things like, most of these products are solving issues that they appear to have made up. Before he gets a message by Patty, states, Sabine is currently entertaining herself.
Good to know. Any updates on what I asked you to look into?
Yes, or more appropriately, no. I still contain the information that I have gathered from that. I figured it would have been better to meet you in person so that we could share this information in confidence. ...
Hold on, period. You found something? Question mark?
I have already informed you I have found something, and I said that I will inform you later.
Karen, you see that Patty was a calm and cool exterior. And the minute as you see the codex is lighting up, you see the agitation come, and she's like, there's very much the kicking in sense of she wants something, and now she is annoyed.
No, you should not text your ex back.
Is that what I look like every time I want to craft something?
Yes, actually.
Okay, yeah, that was very primal. That was very primal need, but not like mating season primal. More like just like I want to get that shiny thing.
Patty is a little tilted after that, and then she sends another message. She's trying to sell it in the most neutral way. Well, can you send it to me so I can review it and we can talk about it? Question mark.
Are you sure you would not prefer relayed to you in person?
I'm sure, Troy. I appreciate it, but please send it now.
As you wish. Sending you an encoded file. And Troy just sends Patty what is largely a piece of just completely garbled data that contains at the top a file that contains at the top of it some translated text and being nicey wordy.
I mean, you could send everything you got. I'm not saying both files. I'm saying you could send everything. Because I know what comes out of it.
Oh, Karen, you see the minute there's like another light up on her screen, and she's like, "Oh my fucking god, finally something!" And you hear her like say that out loud. What's it?
We don't really have context. You just kind of look like you got touched by the orgasm fairy a little there. Listen, I'm doing research. I don't know where this is all going, Karen. Don't judge me.
I think
you're doing better than Patty right now. I mean, look at her face.
Yeah.
Patty sends another message to Troy. What the fuck does this mean? Like the civility is gone. She's just confused.
I believe you know it's just as much as I do.
Patty turns to Karen, turning off her codex. So you know those fucking riddles that fucking whoever's been sending me?
Sure.
Okay. Troy finally decoded it. He figured out some shit or did some shit, I don't know. But he got a bunch of random bullshit, but at the top of this whole file, it says, "See? I shall look after you. I shall be watching, waiting to ensure your success. A team we are, until the day we can get together, my love." But from BBT.
Number 3 just lifts up behind Patty and just starts holographing a picture of a baseball and a screw. And they just kind of start spinning around each other.
Is this your first stalker? Oh, probably. What am I saying? Of course it is.
BBT?
Well,
How about let's erase large targets first and foremost. What was the initials of the god-awful child you saved that turned out to be a mass murderer?
I didn't even know his name, but I remember watching the TV show. Give me a second, because he got showed on the fucking news.
You gonna share it with the rest of the class, or are you just gonna do your interpretation?
No, I'll share it. She sends it over to Karen and Krill just to. Yeah.
Oh, I hate this format.
Mateo Gasher Garcia III. So BBT does not match up there. What the fuck is this?
Oh no. Oh no.
What?
Krill's saying this out loud. Huh. Well, this is an impressive mess you have dug yourself into, Patty.
What did I do?
Be too aggressive and try and get someone to pay you to taser them.
Brittle bones. The brittle bones.
Brittle bones, Timmy.
Oh no! No!
Krill just walks behind the crafting table, dragging her hands slowly, starting to unpack her boxes. So, not only did you create an internet success for yourself in this fuckwad, they have now decided that they are some Enigma master and are going to now enthrall you in their love with puzzles
Sickest.
and future endeavors.
Oh god.
This fucker sees you as a
God.
team.
Oh Jesus Christ.
You made this person internet famous, and then, to be honest, we did go and make you internet famous on your own as well.
At least he didn't say flow working bomb.
This was an older message before that term.
He goes on the internet and looks up Brittlebones Timmy. Where is he now?
Give me a roll.
God damn it. God damn it. +2.
Swear to God, if we find an active live stream of our base because he's just watching us.
The last social media post that was done by Brittlebones Timmy was a live stream that ended as he was walking into the Palatial Arms Estates.
He was amongst the people at your little press conference after your stream.
I know Palatial Arms Estate exists.
I'm gonna cut you short here. You did a live stream in there as cover for trying to get us information on a person.
Oh, that was the place.
Yeah.
I forgot that was the exact place. Walking into. So I've got my first super fan.
No. You've got your first influencer who wants to make you into the influencer couple.
Oh god. I'm going to have to go on a date recording with that guy, aren't I?
I'll let you lore roll
Well-
really quickly because you seem to have forgotten something.
Me?
Yeah. I'll let you
Alright.
all lore roll because you all seem to have forgotten something.
That's a -2.
We do that a lot. That is a -4.
That's
Yeah.
a 0 total for me.
Also, Palatial Arms Estate is not in the same area. I think. Wait, can someone get a good roll, please? Please?
No. Yeah, I got a 0.
Oh wait, no, I was wrong. Palatial Arms Estate was not the.
Yeah, no. Walking to the Palatial Arms Estate.
Wait, no, Patty, that's where you live.
Oh no.
Because Dalton lived in the conjoined tower that shared.
Oh god, I forgot that was my
Garage.
apartment complex.
I admit I got that wholeheartedly wrong. This is so much worse.
He's stalking me in my house.
He might be at your house that you haven't been to in a while. I was the last person at your apartment.
Is there anything weird when you were there?
I have a high perception. I think I would have at least asked for a roll while I was there.
Maybe he did.
Did you go into Patty's bedroom?
No, well, not unless the bathroom's connected through the bedroom.
Because you went to take a shower.
Yeah.
The shower is not connected to the bathroom.
You mean bedroom?
Yes. Patty puts on her sunglasses. Checks her gun, checks the mag, puts it back in his holster. I'm gonna go check my house.
Do you want to do this alone?
Karen, can you help me out here? You know how to deal with these fuckers, right?
Matter of speaking, yes. How do you want to deal with them? They're yours.
I don't know yet. Can we talk about that on the way?
Can I at least give you an alternative option before you run out if you're gonna go without me.
Do you want to come too?
I got this new punching thing I made, and I haven't used it yet, but the other thing I was gonna get at, do you maybe want some rubber bullets?
I've got a mag with rubber bullets. I'll just switch out the mag.
Karen, do you want some rubber bullets? I did not know Patty had these. Okay.
Every medtech agent comes equipped with 2 mags of rubber bullets just in case for less lethal options.
Gun is just not as intimidating if it's not gonna kill you, in my opinion.
I've got a claw. Alright. Sugar, Trix, you hang out. Snips is sleeping right now. And I will fix Snips up when I get home later, so that you can say hi to him. You girls just chill out for a bit. Stay safe here, okay? Lock it behind us. All right, let's go.
Patty starts walking out and starts heading to her apartment, and just city streets passing over, people passing by, completely unaware, as a little bit in Patty's head is quite literally the reveal could never quite live up to what she was expecting. She was expecting some crazed killer wanting to come for her and was just trying to fuck with her as a weird calling card, right? The realization that it is a masochistic, obsessed dude who possibly has gone into her house has bothered her a little bit, but also she's like, I would prefer the crazed killer. That's easier to deal with.
So, how are you guys getting to the Palatial Arms Estates?
Quick, for at least Patty, she'd be just hopping on the train, just get the closest stop, and then just make her way there. It's not too terribly far, so yeah. Honestly, it's probably just easier to walk because the station would take us back up to the main and then drop back down. So Patty's just full on walking as she's trying to process the months of shit of these riddles that have been fucking with her. And she turns to Karen as they're walking, and she's like, okay, I know crazy stalker, gotta deal with that, right? But like, the dude connected to my fucking codex, which was encrypted by Krill shit, managed to drop a peer-to-peer thing Troy said, whatever, and then managed to like send me creds as well after I helped pay for that car. So
he was amongst the uber rich hipster kids.
Could be uber rich, or could just have been hanging with that crowd. Either way, he's done some pretty kind of impressive stuff. And the only reason I can think like this is because I've got you in my head, Karen. Otherwise, I would have just shot the fucker before.
Well, you didn't know who it was until now.
Yeah. To be honest, I kind of just want the crazed serial killer who's after me. I prefer that.
Yeah, you could have both.
Well, I'm not going alone, so it's going to be a little harder for him to pull his claws in on me here.
Lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I. That's kind of why I said, please. Why I didn't want you to go alone.
I appreciate it. I'm used to just dealing with people, so it was like, oh, I'm just gonna deal with that, but my brain's a mess right now, so,
Just curious. Krill, when you visited, door was locked, everything was normal.
Patty gave me the unlock code.
Yeah.
So, I'm also going to say something pretty bluntly. If the person was capable of hacking my convoluted spaghetti, that means they probably had the means of hacking the door itself too.
So we're looking at a possible crazed stalker who both has the ability to pull in public personas for whatever shit happens around him, and has the ability to at least decently communicate with technology and navigate it.
If not communicate with them himself, he's able to pay off somebody who has zero issue with doing any of this.
Right. You can see like the red and the pink eyes are like looking up as almost as to the sky and like, why me? Why is this my life? And just puts the sunglasses back on and then just keeps walking. But she does send a message to Troy as they're making their way and says, so we figured out some probable shit about it, about the message itself. Just want to say thanks for your help. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 30 minutes, but thanks anyways.
You get a reply back. Are you going to be okay? Should I abandon my post?
Negative. I've got Karen and Krill. We're good. I'm just dealing with a lot here, Troy. After that message, there's a lot of feelings I have right now.
I understand. And then the line goes silent.
And they keep making their way. Patty's taking the lead. She's obviously got Karen and Krill behind her, but she needs like a little bit of space to kind of just work it out of her system, just to let all that fucking shit process. Which for Patty is a terrible idea, right? Her first instinct is like, oh, that's a lot of feelings. I'm going to drink that away. But she doesn't want to immediately drink it away in this case. And so she's just struggling a little bit just to get through it. And eventually make their way to the Palatial Arms Estates after just cutting through a couple alleys, a couple streets, just passing by. And Patty sees the large complex, just takes another big breath. Okay. All right. Potential fucking weirdo up there. I hope I don't see his dick. That's all I'm asking. I don't want to see his dick.
If it's already out, maybe it's just the perfect target to start with.
Maybe, but like, I don't know. I don't need to see the dick of a guy that it's weird. It's just weird.
I mean, remember what happened last time you kicked him? Just saying.
Patty remembers breaking his shin very visibly. That was a very solid moment she can remember. And she remembers the bone going completely in half and the rest of the leg just dangling there in the air. And she remembers the blood kind of just spraying everywhere. But the worst moment is she's imagining in that moment after the shin breaks, there's a literal dong as the dick just gets fully erect in her mind. She's like, nope, 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 nope.
Krill takes this moment while they're talking to look through more of Brittlebone Timmy's socials. See if he's posted any improving self kind of posts. See if he's potentially been into Ripper Docs anytime recently to fix his leg up.
was at a few places.
Oh, there's a few different posts along this line.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a few different places he was at. Some stuff along the. It's good work there, Caboose.
What did you do?
Yeah, solid work. There was some posts in which you can see some water, maybe a little alcove, maybe some boats.
Oh God, no.
Has he been at the fucking island resort?
No.
No, he wasn't at the island resort. You remember when I went full flow and went with the flow? He was there.
There's a shot of him walking down the street, and there's a cut-off sign, and you can just sort of see the letters on shop.
Oh, fuck.
That one's... I'm missing that one.
And
what was it?
Isn't that the courier job?
Yeah, that was the courier job. He's been stalking her. Eminem's pawn shop. He's been stalking her since the moment it happened.
Oh God.
Okay.
This man literally said, "This woman just wrecked my whole world. I'm in love with her."
Yeah, no, you kind of made a ooh dommy mommy out of this fucker. Yes, I did learn that term recently. The internet's teaching me a lot. Anyways.
Well, you're 20 years late, but better late than never.
Grill keeps just scrolling.
earlier in the night, before the as you come up to current, earlier in the night before the posting, you see an alleyway, and you can see a Chinese lantern in the backdrop of it. As you peruse even further back, you can see the outside of a bar.
Oh, he's at the bullet hole. He went to the fucking bullet hole.
You can
Krill just looks at Patty. I swear to God, if our invisible sniper assassin is your fucking stalker,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he tried to shoot at me, so I don't think so.
you scroll back, you see a shot, and just off in the distance, over his shoulder in a selfie, you can see Derek Thompson being accosted by Patty.
So we need to get this guy to stop posting about me everywhere he goes, because that is just terrible OPSEC.
yeah, no. And we can only hope that he's still in your apartment at this moment, because he's got a good means of following you around right now.
Well, either he's in my apartment, or if he's not, I'm gonna hunt his ass down.
I don't think you'll be the one hunting.
The prey can become the predator. I don't care. I'm gonna find this fucker.
Nature analogies is my thing, but I appreciate it and approve. All right.
So what's the plan here, Karen?
I don't see any sign that this kid's like fixed himself up. Sorry, go ahead, Karen.
You say what you need to say, Krill.
Yeah.
Just doesn't seem like there's any signs of this kid fixing himself up. At least he's not posting about it. He seems to be pretty post-happy, so...
Yeah, literally the med tax came and rescued his ass after, because he has insurance up the wazoo.
Yes. You know, so we might not be looking at augments. But notably, I don't see a single post that isn't relevant to you. So if he did not deem it relevant to Patty, it's not posted. So for all we know, he's got a butchered cat collection in his apartment, and we never know, because it isn't about you.
Patty sends to Troy the link to his social media that Krill's been working off of, and she asked him, can you find the device, or what is it, the IP of whoever is sending this?
Are you asking me to find potentially find the codex of this Kimmy?
Yeah. Basically, the guy I broke his shin back in the alley, he's been stalking me, and he's fucking up our cover.
I will see what I can do.
Thanks, Troy. I
And
appreciate it.
Just going back into Troy's vision as he's watching the television states, over 90% of these devices can be solved with just a standard kitchen, or just a standard food processor.
Yeah,
and then Troy gets the...
Yeah, but that's no fun. You gotta understand. Half the fun is spending $29.95 and 14 different installments to get yourself a pointless device that then clutters up your kitchen. It's about getting this stuff.
I fail to see how that is fun. It seems a waste of resources.
Yeah, well, we like to waste resources.
There's a brief little twitch in Troy as he gets up and walks into the bathroom. I would like to continue this later. However, there is something I need to do.
Gotta take a piss?
To some extent.
All right. Didn't know robots piss, but
And Troy, looking over the various pictures and stuff, trying to draw a certain potential pattern for this location, hops into the hardware layer. I almost forgot what it was called, and goes looking for this device. He does ping back to Patty. Do you have an idea of his current likely possible location?
Possibly at my apartment complex. We're about to go inside and check, but I want to get a zero in on this fucker just in case I need to go find his ass.
I will see what I can find. I will see what I can find. And
Thanks.
Troy just starts heading over to the Palatial Arms Estates. And I'm assuming when he gets there, it's already, you can already see just quite the plethora of various devices and codexes just throughout the apartment complex.
oh yeah.
But he is able to narrow in on Patty's apartment. Does he see anything in there?
You don't see a codex.
Does Patty have any security features in her apartment? Say, security cameras of some kind?
There's a security camera probably outside of the apartment, but nothing on the inside. She's got like a laptop, but realistically, she keeps it closed when she leaves, so.
Technically speaking, cleaning clothes is not necessarily off.
I mean, she just shuts it down, but she doesn't like go on full turn off. Like it goes into sleep mode.
All right. Yeah, it's just Troy Troy attempts to just access her laptop as it's probably a device located within her apartment. If it's in standby mode, its screen's probably down and he won't be able to use the camera, but there are microphones on it. Troy attempts to listen in on the apartment.
You do not hear anything. Well, give me a roll.
All right. As a +1.
Move my text documents out of the way here that I've had to go searching for because they're old as fuck.
Months of your life waiting.
Troy.
Listen, we are finally ending one of your plot threads. Let's just be happy.
Troy, you barely, you can sort of make out some sort of low, steady vibration.
Patty, what devices would you likely have currently active inside of your apartment?
The door? The fridge? My music stand is connected in my bathroom, but that's it.
There is the presence of a low rumbling sound, unable to identify at this time.
Oh god, if he is fucking himself on my bed, I'm going to kill him.
I'm unable to locate any other devices, inside of your apartment, other than the laptop and the stereo. I don't know, 2024 smart fridge.
Okay.
Troy attempts to access the fridge.
The fridge has an inward facing camera and it's depressing.
Yeah. Patty, the expiration date on your milk has expired 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Why is that relevant here? Is he in my apartment?
It is not. I am currently unable to determine the current status of your apartment. Do you have any potential devices out there with outward-facing cameras?
Patty, you can see Karen. You can see Patty as she's got her hands in the air, and from Karen's perspective, she sees nothing. But if you get like a switch in perspective from the camera, you can see Patty's like literally imagining her apartment. She's imagining the bottles. She's imagining in my living room I have a dock. It's got like just a Red Sea pad, whatever. It's random bullshit. It's got a camera on it. It's facing into the apartment. Me and my ex used to call like whenever we were busy and like we had weird shifts, so we would just call between times and everything. Maybe you can see something in that.
I will attempt to access this over the network. And Troy attempts to detect this dock with the camera in it in the network. Roll or...
I mean, where is this device?
It's in the living room. It's just connected kind of like between the kitchen and the living room. It's got like a weird angle away from the bedroom, but like it gives a little bit of a scope. That's it.
You can connect to the device. You don't really see anything anywhere in that angle.
None of the devices that I'm able to access are able to determine whether or not there is a potential intruder within your apartment. The current source of the buzzing is still unknown.
Well, I don't have a whole lot of tech in there, so can't exactly access a whole lot, but thanks anyways, Troy.
You can't detect anything in there, Troy, except for the things that Patty described.
I can attempt to do another sweep.
Are you
However,
able
the
to
free.
reach... Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you go. However, my previous sweep did not detect any currently usable devices, or at least active ones.
However, would the hardware layer let you know if something was on or off, and maybe the system layer wouldn't?
The system layer is not designed for this. The system layer is designed for software-related issues. I'm currently trying to detect devices.
The hardware layer still has to have for him to see the device has to have some sort of communication ability.
Yes.
It has to be able to
Fair enough.
speak or
So-
hear.
Even if he went to the software layer, it wouldn't change much. I can't connect to an offline device on the hardware layer or the software layer.
Yeah, and there's no guarantee this place has like smart outlets everywhere where they know exactly which outlet is getting used and which isn't.
Yeah, it's a cheap ass apartment complex. All right.
Fair enough.
Patty says, "Thanks, Troy. Appreciate your help." And then she clicks off the codex and stares at that door for a minute and just takes a big. You got my back as she looks at both of you?
Yes.
Erin pulls out her gun.
Krill just readies her claw. It punch,
Okay.
it cut, it claw. I like it.
She just pats Krill's shoulder and then takes another breath and then heads inside. Just making her way to the elevator, going up, and eventually ding, and just exit out to her floor. And she sees the door. She walks up to it. Is it ajar or is it open?
It's closed.
Okay. She just leans in to make sure she doesn't hear anything first, just to make sure.
Nope.
Patty doesn't look back this time and just puts in the code. Door swings open. Looks around. She's not saying anything, but just making sure she doesn't see any naked ass or dick first.
There is no naked ass nor naked dick.
She walks inside, just starts sweeping the area, checks out the living room, kitchen, nothing.
Nothing. As you glance down the hallway towards your bedroom, the door is closed, but underneath the door, the crack, you can see sort of shifting lights.
Krill just gently lays a hand on Patty's shoulder and makes sure her head is not in front of Patty and does one of her x-ray scans. She's trying to scan that fucking bedroom.
Okay, give me a roll.
That's a +3 total.
There are no human bodies in that room.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that specific. There was, kind of just leans to Patty. I got no bones returned on that.
Patty pulls
You
out her
have a-
taser.
Bone scanner?
X-ray device. She did it on me back at the other place. But keep it quiet. And she just starts walking up that hallway as she's just slowly stepping forward, just listening in, trying to see if she hears anything. as she gets like right up to the door, she puts her ear against it just to hear what's inside.
Just a maybe a minor hum.
She just looks over her shoulder at Karen and Krill, and then just has the taser in her right hand and it just swings it open and points.
Okay, so who all's within view?
Karen's off to the side.
Okay. So, as you swing the door open, your room is an electric dreamscape. It's bathed in the glow of holographic light that brings every corner to life. The walls are covered in meticulous scrawled messages, each letter clear and deliberate, glowing with a steady pulse, as if they're the heartbeat of the room itself. The words are written in looping, elegant script, shimmering in shades of neon blue and deep violet. They cover every surface, from floor to ceiling, a seamless tapestry. In the center of the room, a giant holographic rose grows and blooms, its petals unfurling with slow, deliberate grace. The rose is a radiant red, so vivid it almost seems to burn with its own inner light. Gold veins run through those petals, catching the ambient light and refracting it into dazzling patterns that dance across the walls. The petals shimmer and pulse, their edges dissolving into pixels before reforming into a perfect cycle of creation and rebirth. The rose stands as a stunning focal point, its beauty almost overwhelming in its digital perfection. The room's ambient light shifts through a spectrum of colors, each change casting the room in a new emotional hue. Cool blues that speak of calm, warm oranges that suggest comfort, deep purples that hint at mystery and melancholy. As the light changes, the messages on the wall take on different tones, meanings, the colors adding depth and emotion. Some of the messages, well, all written with the same careful hand, floating just above the walls. Fully clear, legible. Each one, each statement etched into the air itself, overlapping in places, but creating a complex web. The air thick with a synthetic fragrance, a blend of roses and something maybe metallic, like the smell of ozone after a storm. It's a scent that grounds the room's surreal atmosphere in something tangible. The room hums with a low, steady vibration, a sound that resonates with the light, and the words tying everything together into a single living entity. Occasionally a faint crackle, a reminder of the technology that's powering the display. But even that feels intentional, adding to the room's complex, layered reality. And on the walls, this is what you see scrawled.
Oh no. God damn it, not again. Not another one. No, no.
Krill scans for a camera
The
in the
goose
room.
chase continues.
Is this thing like streaming or recording?
Give me a roll.
That's 4 total.
It is a projector, and that is it. If you wish to manually investigate it, you can.
Actually, just from like an eyeball because of Krill's techie background, is this just like a device laid on her bed, or is this like a full contraption that has been like assembled here?
It is literally a ball that has been set on the center of her room on her bed.
Okay, I thought it was just a child starlight projector. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Krill's just looking at Patty, like crumbling a little.
Patty's just like, okay, that was my response. Patty's just like standing there, just staring at it. She's just kind of like frozen in this moment.
Okay, you know what? The beauty of these things is that they can be turned off and on again. Also, I've recorded everything here just to make sure in case it doesn't turn on again. I am sending the data to Troy right now so that he can run it through as many code-breaking softwares as he would like. I'm gonna just turn this off so you stop looking like you're about to get hit by, like you're, I want you to stop looking like a deer in headlights. Bill just picks up the ball, clicks probably just a simple switch on the back of it, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Turns it off.
The room just comes to black. A faint crack of light bleeding in from the window.
If there's anything physical about the puzzle, I will dissect this and figure that out for you, Patty.
Patty doesn't even register that. She just says, like, literally just staring back at it, "Do you want a drink? I want a drink. I'm gonna go get you a drink." And just turns around and starts walking to her shelf and just corks open, puts 3 shot glasses of the freshest bottle and just sets it down and just kind of just stares at it.
Krill just pockets the ball, and through her eyes, she brings up the tablet. Again, I don't think anyone else can see the tablet that she's doing. It's just, her perspective. She just goes and updates his feed. Just hits refresh.
Nothing.
Okay. At least he's not writing you poetry about this a moment.
Patty is just standing over the table. She's got her shot glass. As you can see, her hand kind of shaking in this moment. She's not saying anything, just kind of staring at the alcohol. It's just...
Not used to feeling loved?
That's not love. That's fucking weird. Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
Karen, do you associate this with love?
It's a form of it, sure.
And actually, there's just this kind of look of concern on Krill's face. It's just like, yeah. Okay, maybe we need to look into that a little too. Not at this moment, though.
Okay. Karen, needs your advice on this. I got 2 options. I can start at the live stream. I can go, this fucker is stalking me, he's invaded my home, he has eroded my privacy, and he has harmed my very being. That's my first option. Here's my second option. I can go full flow. I can just say, thank you, I enjoyed it so much, it's amazing. Next time, though, I would request that you do it somewhere away from somewhere close to me. This way it gives me a little bit of a fun challenge, like somewhere I have to find. Just trying to sell him on this and hope we get to meet soon, so when I eventually do get to meet him, I can put a bullet in his brain.
I mean, probably giving him what he wants, but sure.
Give him what he wants so I can kill him later.
Yeah, that's probably what he wants.
What do you think he wants to? What is he? One of those weirdos who likes to die sexually?
In my experience,
Most of his posts have nothing to do with Flo. He's got a very proud one of you beating the hell out of somebody here.
Yes, but he knows I stream. He knows Flo is me. So, if I sell him on it, I don't know. Patty just downs the shot.
I'm almost worried he's not interested in Flo. He's interested in Patty.
The point isn't for Flo. The point is to get his attention.
I mean, you already have it.
Yeah, I don't think you could. You could post the most innocuous. Innocuous? It's
Innocuous.
innocuous. Thank you. You could post the most innocuous thing ever. He will probably still find it.
Oh, God damn it. Why is this my life? You break.
I know why. I wonder how he came into your life.
The universe has cursed me. That's what this is. It's cursed me to suffer. I'm put on this fucking planet to suffer.
Patty, pay me and I'll tase you. Pay me and I'll tase you. Pay me and I'll tase you. No, I'll just break your leg instead. Listen, girl, I tease. This is your bed you have made in the weirdest fucking way. We're going to help you. We're gonna help you. We're not leaving you abandoned on this one. But holy fuck, how do we get around this in any other way then? You beat this man so devastatingly out of nowhere. You got his adrenaline all riled up. You got him hot and heavy, and then you blue-balled him for what he thought he was getting. I learned that term recently, too. Troy taught me that one, though. And then you broke his fucking leg. You just sweeped him off his feet.
You know, most people's first response to getting their shin shattered in half is, fuck you, I never want to see you again, or I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Most people's responses aren't this.
Most people also don't get on talk shows and made into wonder children for having their shins broken.
Okay, but the Wonder Children talk show thing, that's just a dude writing success, all right? He is like, he became a meme, he got attention, that is that, right? Not many people go on to, I'm going to stalk the bitch who broke my shin as a lovesick puppy killer.
Listen,
Okay.
Sometimes a blonde woman walks into your life and demolishes your pride, and you have no other means but to constantly think about her.
I'm not blonde.
Shut up. Not the point. You have made a sick puppy with a lot of connections and probably a lot of money. You also just got talk show money, too.
Yeah, but how do I get him to stop following us around and potentially getting more, like, let's say we do a job, right? And then we have people who want revenge, right? And then they find that this guy's been stalking me for months, and then just, you know.
Hey, Troy,
Well, we know that's already happened.
you got that message, right?
I did.
Give me a roll.
Sweet. There's a -1.
A 3 will get you G -6.
G -6.
Yep. That's what a 3 will get you.
I see you. I see you.
I might be too sick and autistic to remember what the hell that's supposed to mean.
G -6, you subtract 6 letters from the G, you get an A.
Oh. Literally, that was my first fucking thought when I saw that thing, and then I fucking forgot. God, I love ADHD.
It's okay. I remembered anyways. It just wasn't important to me right now. Patty.
You do get a quick ping back from Troy stating, "It does appear to be a simple substitution, Cypher. I may be on to a key. We'll inform you later with updates."
Patty doesn't even respond in this moment. She's just too in the moment and lost into whatever the fuck this is. Okay. Karen, is it a good idea to start up the live stream and do the whole thank you? Like, how would I do that? Is it a good idea? I don't know. I need some advice here. I'm kind of losing it. And then she holds up the glasses for both of them, but she pours another into her own and just downs another.
Jesus.
But it's Everclear.
Karen
What is
sets
the
it back down.
significance? What is the significance of Everclear? Krill picks it up.
Patty just, was about to push it over. Just drink it all at once. Just don't even think about it. Just down it.
I don't know if I've had enough peer pressure today. You know, apparently I'm just fucking letting myself get locked into any of this. Fuck it.
You drink Everclear.
Yep.
Congratulations.
3/4 of a shot.
Look, he's already very interested in you. He knows everywhere you've been. He follows you. He can follow you. He knows exactly where you are right now. I'm sure of it. So, do you think encouraging him will help?
Well, the thing is, if I encourage him, I can encourage him towards a way I want him to be. Instead of just him acting on his own and doing whatever and potentially fucking up our shit, I can encourage him to a way that's more useful to us rather than just getting in our way and causing more concern about who's watching us. I'm trying to think like you. I don't know if it's doing well. I don't.
He... Where would we bait him to?
Either bait him to like a date or like somewhere where I can find him and put him right in front of me so we can finally deal with him.
You know, if you live streamed that, I bet you could make a ton.
Yeah.
Hello, meeting back up with Brittle Bones to me. You know, maybe we should contact him in an effort to, you know, make this more lucrative, actually.
I mean, that's one of my thought processes, and also just getting him to finally stop like stalking me. Like,
I mean, yeah, once it's not financially viable. Yeah.
I just don't want him in my house. I just don't want him in my house. That's all I want.
Yeah, we can talk to him about that. But I am liking this idea of you meeting up with him and streaming it.
Look, I have no pride, so I'm doing whatever is needed to help us at this point. If it makes us more creds, if it fucking just gets us like be able to run some circles, like maybe he is a rich dude and maybe he can get us in some places we normally couldn't. I don't know. I just know I have this thing in front of me talking him in the live stream and I don't know what to do with it. In fact, I set up fucking Patty's starting to ramble now that the alcohol's kicking in, and she's like, I set up a private acting lesson with some dude that to see if I can start like refining this whole flow thing.
Right. Oh, okay. You found somebody reputable?
He has a lot of experience.
That's not what I asked, but okay. Okay.
You. Give me a second. What's his name again?
Timmy?
No, the actor. God damn it. It's been a hot minute. I have to look again. Give me a second. Actor. Why did it do that? God damn it. Work with me here.
Okay.
Tony the Stage Marino. I don't know if he'll be any good, but I don't know what I'm doing here, so I'm just trying to find anything.
Tony the Stage. Hopefully he's not related to our brittle bones friend.
Unless literally Timmy has hacked my fucking internet browser, I don't think so. I mean, Troy checked.
I would go to that acting meeting possibly thinking it's going to be a Timmy thing.
So I just gotta worry that this guy's going to start randomly showing up in my life from now on.
Yeah. But
Can I just shoot him? Is that an option? Is that a viable option? Can I just put a bullet in him?
I mean, that's leaving a lot of money on the table, hon. I mean, he's into it though, probably. See, that's the thing. Like, if okay, so idea. We have a redemption meeting where you go in to apologize, but instead you kick him in the shin again.
And then he gets off more on it.
And I mean, and capitalize off of it.
So I don't know. I mean, the trying to set up a date with him and shit seems like a good idea. If we keep him on live stream at all times, then, or like whenever he's around me, then that means he can't fuck with me as hard. If I keep him under my eyes, under my control, then it makes my life easier because it makes it easier just to keep him under my thumb.
As long as he's still posting, yeah.
Yep. Which Patty saves his social media. Just yeah.
Good idea.
I can't. I'm a fucking mercenary. I'm a fucking former med tech. What is my life now?
Dummy mommy.
It's not even for a guy I like. It's just some weirdo.
Usually isn't.
I mean, I've done that for people that I like, but this is just some guy who stalks me and heads into my house. Like, yeah. This is my place, right? Don't fuck with my place, all right? This is my space, all right? If this isn't sacred, then what is?
You really treat it that way, huh?
A little bit. Like, look, we all need a place to go away from the rest of this fucking world sometimes, okay? Anyways, nothing is sacred. My life is just shit. Okay, cool. It's third one. And, okay. So
Now you're getting it.
yeah. Okay. So do I start this live stream now or do I start it later?
It's up to you. You know, where do you think he'd like to see you at the most?
He put the most amount of effort into the room. That's what he did. Krill, can I see the ball?
She sheepishly hands you the ball.
He actually does something. She doesn't do this often, but she walks up to Krill and she wraps her whole arms around her. She hugs the fuck out of her. And then she does it to Karen and holds her a little less long and a little less tight of a squeeze and says, I know I'm weird about showing gratitude and shit, but thanks. This is weird, I'm a little uncomfortable, and I don't like it at all. So, here we are. Welcome to it, I guess. And... okay. She goes back to her room, and... flow, Ricky Bomb. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Okay. And she opens up the door. She goes back in the room. She puts the ball on back where it was. She lights it up, and the room goes back into that effervescent glow. The rose coming back into the bright lights. Okay. Put them under my thumb. Put them under my thumb. Put them under my thumb. Okay. Okay. And she puts her codex on a stand and she turns it on live. There's a brief moment as she waits for the response of the codex to light up as the lights are all glowing around her, and he says, well, I just got back home and I saw this whole setup now. Have you seen this rose? It seems I have somewhat of a secret admirer. And I don't know who sent it, but whoever did, I absolutely love it. I am adored with it. It is beautiful. I love the little intricate designs. I love the crackle, the light, the smell of ozone. It just feels like a beautiful bit of thunderstorm coming at the night's edge, deep in the middle of night. I love every bit of it. It is a wonderful design. Whoever did it, I truly appreciate what you've done for me. And whoever it is, I would love to meet up and talk with you in person. Whoever put such effort and design into this is truly somebody I could come to admire it myself. And I love every bit of it. It just speaks to me about going with the flow and just seeing the whole setup and design. It really put a twinkle in my eye and lit up my night. But that's it for now, and just so you know, there's going to be some more content coming in the future, and I hope you stay around and watch, and have a good night. And she turns off the codex, and then just... okay. Got that bullshit out of the way. Okay. And probably around like 4 minutes later, she comes back out. The door, the room turned off, and just puts the codex back on and says, all right, well, that's done.
Well,
Also, yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I think I put the go with the flow at the end, Krill, like the thing you added earlier, but I would need you to check it later just to make sure.
I think I heard you say it in there. I can double check.
Cool. All right, well, my little stalking moment is done. Do we want to go check on the fucking guest and make sure everything's all right?
As you say that, the camera cuts over to Troy.
The monetary value, there seems to be little in the way of material value gained. You have just filled your current space up with useless items that serve no practical purpose.
I don't know how many times I can explain this to you, bot, but that's kind of the point. And Sabine turns off the screen and says, "All right, I'm hungry. Let's go get some food."
Would you prefer I stay here and bring you food back?
I don't know how you're gonna stay here and bring me food back, but
Sorry, I meant to say, would you prefer to stay here and I bring you food back?
I mean, nobody knows I'm here, right?
As far as I'm aware.
Well, then let's just grab something from a corner shop and stretch our legs.
Very well, if you wish.
So Sabine stands up, puts her jacket back on, starts walking towards the door.
Roy follows her.
Pushes the button on the side of the door. Everything starts to move. There's a ding. Door slides open. She walks out, starts walking towards the car.
Roy just keeps an eye out around him for any suspicious activity as he follows her to the car. And as he approaches, he states, "Would you prefer if I drive, or would you like to drive?"
You can drive. I don't care.
Very well. And Troy opens up the passenger side door for her to allow her in.
She gets in.
Troy walks over to the driver's side door and gets in and asks, "Do you have a personal preference, or would you prefer like to see what's available?"
I mean, let's just pick an alleyway and see what restaurant.
Very well.
I'm not picky.
And Troy just slowly pulls out of the parking garage.
Okay. Give me a driving roll.
Here we go. That's a +1.
You're driving down the street and literally Sabine just goes, "There's an alley. Let's just head down and see."
Very well. Troy states, taking a cautious look around into the alleyway.
Give me a roll.
Right. That's a +2.
Nothing stands out to Troy. There's no one is particularly armed. There's no one particularly armed. There's no one that seems to be eyeballing you especially hard. You can't really drive all the way down this alleyway. It is, going to be foot traffic, but there does seem to be at least a restaurant or a corner stall. There's some sort of like food spot. You can sort of spot the signage out front.
As Troy just pulls over and finds a nice little place to park not too far away, he does and prepares to get out and allow her out as well. He does state, "May I ask you a question?"
Of course, go for it.
You seem to have a penchant for dining establishments located down shady alleyways.
That's where all the best food is. Anybody who eats in any of the large establishments, it's all retail garbage. Those people are schmucks. They're getting charged 5 times the price of the food, and quite frankly, it's all industrial garbage anyway. Places like this, they actually still make their food.
Sproy's about to state something as if he's about to ask a question, and then it just kind of, a few things correlate. Jigu's place has had bouts of popularity with similar opinions, and he just shrugs and states, it would seem that is true.
As you walk down the alley, Sabine sort of just guiding. It's not too far, and you see a sign out front. It says the Ember Lotus. It's a small, dark, little, like, flickering neon sign that's hanging above. It's just spilling some amber light out onto the alleyway. It's got a glowing lotus etched into the sign. And she goes, this smells good. Let's just go here.
So we're just taking a look over the, establishment, looks down at Sabine, and states, very well. Something's pinging in Troy, though. Not just the message that Patty sent him, but, his danger sense. He's had enough experiences now to know it's time to start being cautious. He's wondering, does he sense anything off about Sabine?
Give me a roll. Well, that's where you're going. Okay. All right.
That's a 0.
What skill? Yeah, what skill are you going to be using to do this?
My first thought is empathy.
Okay.
Getting a read on Sabine. How does she seem?
Humans decompress in different ways. Some people seem to like break down from your experience. They just sort of like go in catatonic and they just need a reset period, just a sort of refractory period. Other people have like their process. You've seen it with Patty, right? As fucked up as Patty's process is, you've seen that like Patty can just sort of shut it down and then drink her way through it later. You've seen like Krill, who has to like over intellectualize and analyze stuff. And you've seen like the extreme end of like Karen, who, from what you've been able to discern, 95% of the time just isn't affected by things, right? Like it just sort of rolls off of her. So putting together your sort of experiences with humanity thus far and what you understand from your programming, it seems that like possibly Sabine's refractory period has come to a close, and that she dealt with whatever she needed to deal with by watching trashy TV. And that while you were trying to figure out like why the humans do this and that sort of thing, that maybe Sabine was doing something else. And now she's hungry. And this is a pattern you have seen with humans, that when they're done with the thing, they eat. Now, The food isn't always sustenance. Sometimes the food is a part of the process. But also, she didn't get dinner.
All right, well, that mostly confirms Troy's potential worry that she is leading him somewhere to potential danger. A little relieved that this just appears to be a part of a human process that he has programming to comprehend so much he does not have an intrinsic understanding of. It is at least something, at least he knows how to follow through the movements of something like this. But Troy's danger sense is still just kind of ever present. So occasionally he just takes in some information from any nearby camera that he can just get his sensors and his network crawling stuff on. Just keeping an eye out, keeping his own little eye in the sky as best as he can while he keeps Sabine entertained and comforted.
Okay. You do that. Sabine walks into the Ember Lotus. There's a wiry, sort of middle-aged man standing behind the counter, just deep set eyes that sort of possibly reflect a lifetime of kitchen secrets, right? Dark tunic, loose pants, but you do start to see some intricate tattoos sort of peeking their way, just hinting from the sleeves. He moves with a sort of graciousness towards the counter, of someone who probably knows every creak in every floorboard in this building. Walks up to the counter, looks at Sabine, and says, "What can I get you?" Sabine just sort of glancing at the written menu above that's probably been there just as long as the establishment's been there. And she says, "I'll have the smoky dragon skewers, the nightshade noodles, and the glowing lotus tea." Just coming right up. And he sort of spins, and there's a flow to the pants and the tunic as he makes his way to the just open kitchen right there. And he knees a valve on the stove, and you hear the roar and the whoosh of the burner go as the wok fires up. And he starts just paddle and ladle and handful, and he starts assembling the nightshade noodles. And while he grabs some pre-made skewers of most likely lab-grown meat, right? And rolls them in some sort of savory mix and blend and puts them on the grill right next to the wok. Tosses the wok, brushes the skewers, pulls the skewers off, puts them onto a to-go box. There's just some rice in the bottom, drags the skewers out, puts a sprinkling of like crushed lotus petals on top of it, finishes the nightshade noodles, puts those in their own container, goes over and just pours gently from a pot. It's a mix of genetically edited lotus flowers, and the tea you can see faintly glowing as it flows down into the cup, the to-go cup. He lids that and comes over, and he says, "That'll be 29 credits." And Sabine just looks at you.
There's a perk of Troy's eyebrow, and even he's not sure at this point where his simulations are ending and where he is beginning at this point. He's had to put a bit of facade on for Sabine, and he states, or he asks, "Would you like me to pay?"
Well, you're not allowing me to have a codex, so...
Point taken. And a little ping pops up on the cash register or whatever device he's using, and the credits have been transferred from Troy's own little personal digital wallet to him, to the guy that cooked the food, or to the chef. Man.
Sabine reaches across the counter and just puts her hand on top of his and says, "Thank you so much, dear."
Just following through with some of his own protocols, he states, "It was my pleasure."
She looks back at you and takes her hand off of his and goes, yes, thank you. There's a small stand there just by the entrance. Just a few choice artifacts. There's a tattered prayer flag hanging above it, a rusted incense burner, faded photograph of a mist-covered mountain in the background. And she walks up, and you see her take one of the sticks of incense and takes a lighter and lights it. And you see her just take a moment. She closes her eyes. And you see her put the incense stick into the incense burner. She does that with the smoke, and she turns back, grabs the bag of food, and says, "Shall we?"
Troy just kind of politely motions her towards the car in a kind of, butler chauffeur style.
She leaves this space, this exotic smells, the foods, the genetically engineered foods, the incense, the age of this space, and it sort of wafts out into the alleyway. And she starts walking back down the alleyway towards the car.
Troy follows her, mostly closely behind, just every once in a while making sure that there is nothing following them.
Okay.
As he just escorts her back to the car.
All right.
Just as a refresher, she's white, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just after they're all settled in the car and Troy's getting ready and starts slowly backing out of the alleyway, he asks, "May I ask you another question?"
Sure.
Are you interested in other cultures?
There is no such thing as other cultures.
There's a glance over to her as he just found that statement kind of curious, but regains his concentration back on the road, and then asks, "Can you elaborate?"
There's two ways a human being is. A human being is either themself or all. There is no in between. If we didn't learn that lesson when the influx event happened, then you're already lost. So sometimes I'm myself, and sometimes I'm all of us.
There isn't a follow-up question as Troy just silently drives them back towards the hideout as he ruminates on that statement for a while. He finds something oddly familiar about it, oddly relatable to it in a way that he's not fully certain yet. But it's something that he wishes to, in a weird way, kind of wants to discover for himself. Do I need to make a roll for driving back to the hideout, or? All right.
So as you make your way back down into the car park, you are only around the corner. But a moment, as you make your way back down, you pull up, and she just waits a minute.
And Troy, following through with his, routine, gets out, parks the car, steps over to the driver's seat or to the passenger seat, and lets her up and allows her to lead the way back to the room.
She gets to the door and just looks at you.
Troy, having put the code to memory this time, types in 497251.
There's
And as soon as the
there's a pause while rooms start shifting, and eventually it comes and locks into place momentarily as the door slides open. She steps into the room.
and Troy follows her back in promptly.
She walks over to the table, starts taking the food out, and she looks at you and goes, "Do you eat?"
Troy just looks down at himself and looks back up at her and asks, "Was that a joke?"
Cool. All right. Well, I hope you don't mind watching someone else eat.
It does not bother me.
Okay. She sits down, pulls the one chair out that's there at the table, and sits down and takes some chopsticks out of the bag, starts opening the to-go containers. The camera cuts. We're back at base. Or wherever we find our trio.
Probably making our way back to Troy and Sabine, or are we taking a detour before then?
Why are we going back to Troy and Sabine?
I have no idea. I was just asking. I was proposing that as a possible route. I don't know what we're doing. Like, we dealt with Patty's whole go with the flow, can't immediately deal with Brittle Bones Timmy, so it's kind of a what do we want to do from here?
We
Well,
were giving Sabine some space as she requested in the safe house. And that is all Karen's game.
she has her meeting Monday. In the meantime, anything we could find out about her or anyone else would be useful.
No meeting was ever arranged.
She has her scheduled meeting with.
No, that's for Gavin.
Yeah, you were still
Yes.
you were still trying to get that meeting, if I recall.
Yes. Gavin has the meeting with the people. She has work Monday. Yeah. Yes.
Let's see.
Meeting with Miss Vivian would be great, though.
We already had one.
I already did that.
Yeah, we already updated her on what was going down.
I thought we were trying to get Sabine and Miss Vivian in the same room.
No, Sabine wanted to know about Miss V. That was what the meeting was about.
Sabine offered up Elise Montauk, the secretary. This is who you have to get through somehow to get to Gavin, to get a meeting. Sabine said she would do so on condition of meeting whoever you were working for. Whoever you were working for said, sure, after the meeting is set up. This is the quandary you find yourselves in at present.
You gotta convince Sabine.
Or somehow convince Miss Vivian, which doesn't feel as strategic.
Question, Kai. From Palatial, where are Troy and Sabine holed up? I can't remember the name that we have on the map for it.
Safe house.
Safe house.
Safe house.
Safe house.
Cool, that's all I needed. Just so it's a little to the north.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Do we want to stop by the base on the way, or we just want to head straight there?
We don't have anything, right now at least, that could convince Sabine to enact things our way.
I just assumed Karen would pull her charms and trickery and shit.
Oh, you have yet to meet Sabine.
No, I already met her. I saved her.
Claude.
I helped save her ass in the alleyway.
Yeah, but we had her in the car, and yeah, no, she's cut from a similar cloth. It's going to be a little hard to just charisma our way through getting
Sounds
what we
like-
need.
Sounds like right up Karen's alley. I mean, she's talking with fucking Miss Vivian. She looks like a conniving bitch.
I have some ideas. In the meantime, the secretary.
You
We
want me
should
to
look
start?
into her.
Sure. Patty just, as they're walking, wherever they're walking at this moment, just looks at the least Montauk to see if anything pops up.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah.
This is a socialite. She is absolutely having grown up in of the Montagues. Her family is deeply connected with the corporate world. You see multiple mixers of her at functions that are thrown by Blue Sky and Blue Sky subsidiaries. You can tell by her entire social media profile that she has definitely leveraged her family's influence to secure whatever prestigious position, whatever role, whatever job, whatever vacation, whatever function or invite that she has ever wanted. You see a series of photos with her with all sorts of influential people and contacts across a variety of sectors over the years, dating back quite a ways to when she was just at her father's side.
As Patty is looking all of that up, kind of like a moment of blinking, is just okay. She turns to Karen. We're starting to punch a bit above our weight class here.
Oh, with Elise?
Yeah. This bitch is connected. I mean, I'm looking at arcology people, I'm looking at corporate people, I'm looking at rich ass fuckers, like the fuckers who are all over daytime television and shit. She's got money. She got power.
There's as many photos of her in the well as there are out of the well.
Huh. So she goes in and out. She's not always there.
So, or you thinking rendezvous and catch her whenever she's out of the well? See if you can.
It tells us more about what Elise is about.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We can get Sabine, or we can just get the connection in on Elise ourselves. Like, I'm good with either way you think is best, but like, you know, that's up to you.
We would have a hard time leveraging Elise without something to leverage.
Give me and just puts up a fake gun and just. I'm kidding, but that's an option.
Yeah, I think that'd go really well.
Oh, it would be perfect. No issues at all. 100%. We've never fucked up a mission before, ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
I have
Never.
like 40 separate detonating devices that could do the job, and none of them feel appropriate for the situation.
Yeah, well, there's a. She looks like one of those people we're gonna have to schmooze. Butter up.
What does Elise like? Any idea?
Just scrolling through social media, any bars, restaurants, anything that.
Oh
shows
shit!
up consistently.
There isn't a bar or restaurant that shows up more than once. But she's in hundreds of them. It seems that you're having trouble finding a repeat piece of clothing. You're having trouble finding a repeat place of eating or drinking. This is your sort of quintessential socialite. She is daytime working. You figure that out. And then at night, she is seen.
So she's an influencer of the highest caliber.
He's a socialite.
Yeah, not influencers are doing it for the fame. She's the person who had the fame first and is just enjoying it.
Anyways. So
I'm just saying she probably wouldn't have any interest in Flow as much as that would be a nice in.
oh god, I would never go on this. Look, Flow is great for pulling with a bunch of random fuckheads, but like when it comes to this shit, this is Karen's whole field. All right, this is where she goes well. I'm good at boosting her up when she needs it, not the other way around.
Would you like to roll?
Me or Karen?
You're the one scrolling through her feed.
Sure. That's a +3.
She has only appeared with Gavin once.
So I'm seeing.
Where?
Did she appear at Cetabello?
No. She appeared once with Gavin at a little dockside cafe. But if you were to analyze said photo, you'd see one of them is far more excited to be in the presence of the other than the other way around.
Can I have
Which
an autism? Which one? Is she more excited or is he more excited?
Elise doesn't get excited. Excitement is blasé.
Excitement leads to wrinkles.
Excitement is the mark of someone who is not in control of themselves.
Patty's like reading this, and there's that. Oh god, she's that kind of person. She's a socialite who basically is all appearances, never reveals her hand in public, never shows anything in public. She is. So, basically either that she has some weird fucking shit she does in private, or this is literally just her, and she is a fucking... There's something going on here. Patty's kind of scrolling more across the feed. She's not looking for emotional expressions now. She's trying to see if there's any visible signs, scars, like anything that stands out at all, or is it just perfect skin?
Oh, for God, no. No. You couldn't tell if she was 21 or 59.
She's also rich as fuck, so like basically she can just have her skin repaired constantly. So any freaky shit she might do in private is never going to be shown because she can get it dealt away with instantly. Okay. So basically, we got no consistency on her, and if we send Troy, then basically that's going to be near impossible to get access and reveals our hand instantly. So if she's connected to fuckers, and those fuckers probably give a decent amount of protection. Is there like a weird nightclub, a bunch of rich people that go and like she's looking at Karen, and like rich people go and like kill people for fun? Is that a thing that exists?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will we be able to figure out if she goes to one of them?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Not us anyway.
I don't know.
Troy might know
people.
some people.
Yeah, but we already pay for that privilege. You could just take it.
We already owe them so much. Like, I hate getting further in debt to them.
Oh, if it's one of these socialites, I mean, they might take it as a bit of fun just to fuck with them.
Mm-hmm. But like, we're starting to punch above our weight class, and like, I don't want to risk like alerting any of these Global Nexus Holdings assholes.
Then we can't do this job, Patty.
We're going to get on their radar at some point. However, I do understand the instinct to avoid it before the meeting.
Yeah, I don't want to reveal our hand until we have to.
I think doing a bit of research about her, or even Gavin, with maybe some of our connections from Troy, might be helpful. You know?
Listen, let's
Putting it this way, they are the elites. Getting dirt on them is fun. It's sport.
Hey, Kai. So, Patty's time in MedTech service. She knows that probably that richer level elites usually get some degree of heavier insurance with more responsive times and as such. Right? Basically, would she know, one, that this degree of pedigree gets like a private medtech service, or are they still contracted out in general?
Give me an advantaged roll.
Okay, advantage roll. It's a +2, and that's a -1, so a +2.
You'd heard rumors and you'd known people who got transferred to something.
So, private contract. Okay. So, it's kind of obvious probably to you, Karen, but with these types of people, obviously, there's not going to be a direct contract service with MedTech. There are people in my time that got transferred or hurt. I heard about it a little bit too, that basically they've got their own private MedTech response team. So basically, either going to be on premises or going to be immediately available for any major issues. What we could always do is an option is make up some shit. I could go full fake medtech response, see if I can get in on the inside. I know how to talk to those fucking assholes, right? I think at least, but like basically if we can get Troy to, I don't know, just getting access to her. I'm throwing out ideas here. Basically figure out who she runs, who she hires, who she pays for, and then if we can get Troy to spoof some fake IDs or some shit, I could run as fake security and then get access in. So that's an option.
That's an option. Yep.
Yeah. I'm not good at espionage.
We have a short amount of time
Yeah.
before we need to move forward. Sabine could help us, but we do have a day or two. It's still, what, Saturday?
Saturday evening?
You are Saturday midnight approaching sort of territory. You are about to tick over into Sunday.
Yeah. We don't have time for in-depth espionage diving.
What we could do is get a dossier on them.
Just extract as much as we can from Sabine and then see what we can do with it.
If Sabine knows anything, but I don't know. Maybe I think asking one of Troy's friends to get dirt on one of these people might be fun for them.
And now we're back to where I was thinking. Okay. Hackers, incredible with software. Not all of them are amazing with hardware, and I mean putting it together. Most of them probably can't be bothered. They're making money, doing what they are, on the net. They like all their stuff custom. I might just see if they want an engineer horror to build their custom rigs or something in exchange for some information.
Oh, is collateral for Troy to offer?
Yeah, something that instead of it being another IOU, it's I'll get you in contact with a good engineer, and the only price you'll be paying is for parts and parts only.
Be a good way to incentivize it if they need incentivizing.
Exactly. And hell, I could build robots. One of them's gonna have some sick fucking fantasy they want to do with a robot specific to their design.
Yeah, probably.
Got the money for custom.
So we have Troy go in with his group of peeps and then say, I'm trying to figure out some shit about this Alice bitch, and then from there offer an engineer's services.
Exactly.
My bad.
With no up cost.
Elise. And have they
Right.
looked into Gavin for us?
No, we have held off on that request. Is of the many IOUs apparently we have for them.
Yeah, well, between the training, the entry to whatever club it is, between this and that, we owe them quite a bit.
None of them have called on it yet in any
Not
way
yet.
that we can physically manifest.
And I mean, we still know that cafe that they seem to be at least connected to, so.
Well, now that we have an idea of something to offer, instead of just being in debt, be good to ask.
I'm sure a lot of them would love security systems for while they're jacked in.
Something.
I've got ideas.
We have a nice table, it makes nice things.
Hey, Kai.
Mm-hmm.
So, the medtech group of people used to run with, which bars would we frequent when we get off duty?
Oftentimes medtech doesn't actually. Okay, so medtech doesn't like get off duty. It's very much a firefighter situation.
Yes, but you know what I mean, when we're not immediately on call.
Most of the medtech people are like actually functional human beings. They have families, they have loved ones. They have,
Okay, for the degenerates. You know there's degenerates even in medtech.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm sure there are some people who just wanted to punch people and say they were doing medicine.
There's
Oh wait, that was
little
Patty.
degenerates. Yeah, fuck you. She did save people's lives, asshole.
By punching them, right?
She only punched them
Like-
after.
Chest
Like
compression.
telling them to go for a long swim while they're heavily intoxicated. What great medicine.
That was just on the job. That was different. Okay. So, industrial section, probably kind of. I'm trying to come up with a name for it. There's an ironic name. It's called the Sunflower. Basically, the Sunflower is hole in the wall, shitty bar, very much the going for the most like horrible way to decompress, right? Like most medtech people have like decent lives, they're normal people, but for the truly degenerate, the ones who either run in like 72-hour runs, or for the people who are so fucked up that they need a way to break it down and just get over whatever they just dealt with, you go to the Sunflower. The Sunflower is the best way to go. Yeah, well, fuck you, the Sunflower works. So, Patty's kind of like listening to them, but she's kind of tuning it out. So, we going back to Sabine, and then Troy does his run with his group.
If you want to go bother Sabine, I think that's up to you, but she asked us to leave her alone.
I got something in my head I've been thinking about. Just go check it to see if there's anything there.
If you think you won't need me, then go for it.
Cool. All right, just give me a call if something's burning or if you need me. So I'll see you later.
I'll let you know if bullets are flying our way.
Well, if bullets are flying your way, then you really need to call me. Yeah. She starts heading off to the industrial section. Kind of, the camera pans for a moment as it kind of shows on them breaking off like kind of fading from the direct person view, and it just shows like a little pink dot just careening off of the commercial district and just heading east further into the industrial section, just starting to fade off that way.
Does Patty forget you can shoot a gun pretty goddamn well? Yeah.
It's up to her. I don't know.
I don't know, it just always seems like she forgets you shot a revolver as well as she was shooting a sniper rifle. She had a scope and you didn't.
Do you want to take the reins on the next section, or do you want me to take over again?
Well, I'm heading back to the base. Oh, well, I guess at this hour, I'd be heading back to my apartment. What do you say, Krill? Are you heading back to base to get sleep there?
I guess I can sleep on the couch. Yeah, I guess I'll head that way.
Well, it'd be the couch at my house too.
Is it at least not like oil stained?
God, no.
Oh.
It's
Okay,
not oil stained. No.
Oh, okay. Never. You have blankets? We don't have any blankets at the base.
I have a blanket you can use.
Would it be okay if I slept over?
Yes, you can.
Yay. And Krill just, you see her like send a message off to Chip, Trix, and Sugar, and it's just like, good night, get some sweet dreams, keep the base down locked. You look like you have a question on your mind, Karen.
Oh, just wondering if Troy should get on this while we're sleeping.
Oh, I was about to message him as well. If he could at least have a meeting ready for us tomorrow morning after a night's rest.
Or have them already working on it.
I guess I don't need to be there. Yeah, no, fair enough. Hey, Troy.
You get a ping back saying, yes, Krill.
So, we have decided we absolutely do need to call upon your hacking menagerie for information.
Are you certain? Do you have something you can offer?
Yes, I am going to offer doing custom builds for them at no extra cost past parts on any custom construction, security measure, robot, weapon of choice, all the same. They're kind of tier. They're not going to be buying stock anything and want a custom engineer's hand involved.
I might be able to see what I can get them to do. However, what about my current task of watching over Sabine?
We need, once she is asleep, assuming she sleeps, that would be your opportunity. The only other solution I see is to safely get one of my drones to accompany you, and they can keep an eye on her while you are net diving.
I will see what I'm able to accomplish once Sabine has fallen asleep.
Sounds
I
good.
cannot make any guarantees of any quick success, but I can at the very least get a process started.
That is all I can ask for. Sounds optimal. Thank you, Troy. I do mention that I am a roboticist, an avid mad scientist. That might pique some interests.
I will be sure to slip that information to them.
Good, good, good. In the meantime, we are all going to get some rest. Patty is staying at her apartment, and I'll be accompanying Karen. I am going to sleep on a different couch and will report on the experience.
Patty's doing Patty.
I'm doing some investigating.
Should be getting some sleep.
This is Patty's peak hours right now.
Sadly, yes.
Well then, I wish you a good night, and I look forward to your report.
I will be attempting to enjoy a blanket. It'll be quite a fascinating experience for me. Good night, Trey.
Good night.
As the two of us are walking into Karen's apartment, Karen turns and says, I get the slippers. You get the blanket.
I do not understand how this transaction works, but understood. No questions.
Slippers are
here.
mine.
Not gonna put them on.
Okay. Karen takes off her shoes and puts on the fuzzy slippers.
That looked quite pleasurable. Krill just takes her shoes off and goes barefoot.
Mhm. Okay. Karen opens up a side closet just off of the living area and pulls down a blanket that is very, very fluffy and very, very pink, just like everything. Karen hands it to Krill and then goes into the bathroom and pulls out one of the robes from off the wall. There's two. And hands one to Krill. Says, if you need it.
I will gladly experience it.
For like showering, you've taken a shower before, right?
Yes, I learned this one recently. It was very enjoyable.
I'm gonna ask you to do that before you lay on my couch.
I have no complaints here.
Now, if you want to record it and put it up on my only stands, just like set up your codex in the corner. I have like a little stand. It's the perfect angle. You just have to pop it in there. Just if you're curious.
I don't actually have a codex of my own. It's all internal.
Oh, all right. That has to be annoying.
don't know. Like, I've never used just like a codex. Everything's always been internal most for my life. And Krill just
Yeah,
kind of lets
I
it
like
aside.
being able to ignore it. I think.
I wish I could. Thanks, Karen. And she's kind of looking at the everything fuzzy from head to toe, comparing to how Karen dresses for herself on good days and bad. Is this, this feels weird, though. Is this you? Or is this just what you want people to see? Like, I feel like this was a very vulnerable thing for me to see this, and I'm now feeling like I've intruded, but I've got to ask.
It's as much of me as most will ever see.
Okay.
Hey, but at least it's cozy.
Girl just kind of like runs her fingers through like the like shag everything, and she's just like, yeah. I really appreciate you being a friend, Karen. You're probably my first even remotely close thing to a friend I've ever had. Probably
Yeah.
sad.
You know, having friends. Been here before. It's been an interesting ride in the past, but I do enjoy this ragtag group that we've put together. You are entertaining.
God, I hope so, because if I was boring, man, then I'm just probably like, you know, a fucked up crazy terrorist in the city, just waiting to ruin it. You know, at least if I'm a little fun, then there's hope.
Yeah.
What do you want for breakfast? I'll have it ordered out to us for the morning to say thanks.
French toast.
Find some highest quality French toast I can and have it shipped out.
Whatever's easy. But French toast.
They'll do. Girl, makes her way into the washroom. Is it alright if I take that shower now, just so that I don't get in your way?
Yeah. I'm gonna just go to bed. I'll take mine in the morning.
Awesome. Night, Karen.
Karen disappears off into her room.
There's just Krill looking in the mirror. Stupid, 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 stupid. We don't know how to have charisma. We don't know how to have friends. How do we do this? Why do you get so weird around her? Why are you so weird? Just don't fuck it up, Krill, please. Don't fuck it up. Alright. You can do this, Krill. You can... Come on, fish monster. You got this. And she turns around and goes into the shower.
Camera probably fades over, switching perspectives as the map itself showed the pink dot just heading back to Palatial for a moment, dropping off the bag, and then slowly cutting back over to the industrial section to start making, and as the dot heads further into the area, the slow zooming in to Patty as it's following over her shoulder as she starts walking down. Gets a little tighter in some sections as she starts making her way down alleys, start passing a couple rougher people, all sorts of fucked up people all over the place as she's starting to pass through. Starting to see a couple ragtag bits of military, a little bit of Pharangian, just a couple of people that not too long ago she would have fit in just perfectly, but now where she is, she starts walking and she's keeping a very close eye on whoever she's passing. And as she starts walking through, eventually coming up to this tight corner in one down random alley, you can see this glowing neon sign of a very badly designed sunflower, as it's the green stem with the yellow flower. You can see there's one of the pieces that are just like flickering, and then the green is just completely dead. It's basically a complete shitty hole in the wall. And she's kind of standing in front of it. She looks up for a moment as people are passing through here and there, and she can hear the loud speakers and the music is just drifting out into the alleyway as people hop in and out pretty consistently. She just puts on that blank face and then just kind of just walks inside. As she's walking inside, what does it look like tonight, Kai?
You tell me.
Okay.
This is your scene.
Okay.
Paint it.
That's fair. It's a Saturday night turning into Sunday. Okay. It's not deeply as packed as it would be on a Friday night, but what she can see is, a good couple of people, like probably close to half of the people that would fill in for a Friday night. It's Saturday, people are either like going to do their jobs now, having that one day off, and so it's a couple people, mostly just punks here and there, some people in some weird like slick wear. Then you see the odd couple, one of the guys with his hair completely greased over, and you can see like two roughly Pharangian looking dudes. Their armor is mostly off, but you can see like the pieces on their shoulders. You can see the kind of like Patty sees the military more than sees the military. But in the corner, there's a couple of what looks like dudes who are looking just off of call. It looks like they've got some of their medtech armor in this moment. Just kind of we just got off the 48-hour shift and we're just kind of kicking back before we crash and then get ready for the next 24. Patty, seeing all this, walks up to the bar. You would expect a really rough-looking dude, but in this one, it's actually surprisingly like a slender woman. She's got cream-colored skin. She's got very much a long, thick tattoo sleeve that goes all the way up to her shoulder and probably catches up just to the side of her chin. It's a little stereotypical, kind of that obvious appearance of when she was young. It's like a long dragon tattoo that just feeds up into it. And as she kind of sits up at the bar, she just says, can I get a shot and a beer?
Yep, come right up.
Can do. And just as she's sitting, waiting for her drinks, she'll kind of look over her shoulder at the medtech people. What does it look like they're up to at the moment? You want me to keep feigning it further, or is that up to you at this point?
They are basically recanting, and they're recounting the exploits of a time gone by. Very much in joke, in group talk at that point. There's several drinks in at that point. So there's just sort of this disjointed non-flow that's happening. They know what they're saying to each other, but generally speaking from the outside, it becomes very unintelligible, especially the amount of slurring that has started to happen at this point. And so one of them is, slapped on the shoulder, and he goes, like, that time you forgot to pick up the thing. Fuck you. Of course I fucking forgot to pick it up. I was covered in all that blood. So yeah, they're just regale, reliving their own exploits at that point.
Okay. Eventually the drink will come up. She takes a shot, and it's not ever clear this time, so it goes down a little more smoothly. And she kind of just sips on the beer as there's that kind of that roll down her spine as she's listening. She instantly follows what's going on. She's been there a million times, done the exact same thing. And as she's waiting for a lull in the conversation, eventually, when they kind of die down for a minute, just taking a breath, she'll pick up the beer.
Okay.
And kind of just slowly walk her way over. Just not like very direct, but kind of just sees one of the tables right beside and then just sits down there and just starts drinking just to listen a little bit more before she hops in.
Okay. So there's a lull in the conversation. They pause to order another round, and bartender comes over and starts putting beers down in front of them and shots down in front of them. Says, probably the last round, guys. You've had enough. And it's just sort of a
Nah, they haven't had enough. Give them one more on me.
Hey, yeah, listen to the lady. She knows what she's talking about.
These two know how to hold their liquor. They've been through the fucking ringer on it.
So yeah, get us another. The bartender looks at you with disdain. Yeah, you have just possibly made an enemy for life.
I would say if she knows I've been here a couple times, if she's been here for any amount of time, she might recognize me.
Give me a contacts roll.
It's a -2.
The staff here cycles pretty quickly. There's only so much that a person can take of this before they say, fuck it, I'll go work retail.
Understandable. And she just kind of looks up at her, like eyes slightly catching over the sunglasses. Look, if I'm paying, then just take the creds. I'll put in a little tip for you.
Not so little tip.
Fair enough. I'll put 50 on the top.
All right. Another round coming up, boys. Ah! Fucking, one of them,
Patty
one
as
of
they
them,
like cheer.
one
like,
of them
scoots
gets
over a little
up.
bit.
Yeah, one of them gets up and literally just drags your chair over to the table with you in
All
it.
right. Hell yeah. And she holds up her drink to 48-hour shifts, motherfuckers.
To 72-hour shifts.
Woo! And just sips from her beer. So, what was it this time? You watch a man explode in front of your face, or did you have to break a dude's arm to get through the guy?
Nah, this time it was all just fucking drunken rich playboys overdosing on Trez and falling off of buildings. It was just, you know, your typical bullshit weekend.
Yeah, did you get to see like them falling all the way down, or did you have to catch their ass before they did?
No. I mean, we were there after. Well, I mean that one after we were there for the aftermath. We had to scrape him up.
Gotcha. Oof. Sounds like a grisly look.
Yeah, well, you know, his cortex was intact, so they'll just dump him into a new body.
Yeah. I swear, like, those fucking rich assholes, they just pay money after money, just cred after cred, just to fucking do the same thing again. You know, they have a fucking habit.
Well, I mean, they get up to all sorts of new and interesting stuff. That's why, you know, they live the way they do and we live the way we live.
True. You know, we can only afford to fuck up once, right?
You know, as long as it's on the company's dime.
True. I mean, Patty thinks for a moment as she nearly says, back when I used to run, it fucked up a fair bit, but she has to hold it in for a second. You know, I swear, like, there's this one chick that I heard that she's got some private shit going, and bitch keeps popping in and out of all sorts of new places, but never stays around twice. Like, who has the fucking money for that kind of shit?
Most of them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Just like, I see that and I'm thinking, what, no consistency? Like, nothing going on in your life?
Oh, I mean, like half of them do nothing but party all day and all night anyway. Then the other half, you know, pretend to work at least, while the rest of us do the real heavy lifting.
You ever seen one of those, like, top of the top fuckers, like, do their shit? What is going on here? What the fuck?
There's a chain yawn happening.
Right.
That's when I've managed to, like, back and forth a few.
Gotcha. I was just confused. I was like, I need to know now.
Yeah.
Like,
Aspen and I are both fighting it. yes, infected.
I'm holding it in. Like,
And I missed it just in time.
like I heard that there was one chick, I think her last name's Montag or something, and I heard from a guy that she gets up to some sketchy shit.
There is a look that goes around the table, and they get very serious very quickly. You just about sobered this table up, and the dude looks at you and goes, "Who the fuck are you?"
Former medtech, just killing time.
Then you should know we don't talk about patients. Why are you dropping names?
How do I play this? Patty's thinking inside as she purposely dropped the name to see if she could get a response. Just a little bitter. Just got kicked out of medtech, so I'm just trying to relive the golden days a little bit.
Well, thanks for the drinks. And we'll get your next round.
Look, I did the fuck up. Let me just cover the next round. I'll leave you all alone.
No, it's okay. We understand. One of the guys says, "You know better."
Yeah.
It isn't just uncouth. Once enough of a person has been replaced with cybernetics, those cybernetics are corporate property. So the sort of punishment for being fired is oftentimes losing limbs, losing eyes. So it is a whole degree of corporate threat that is sort of directed at people for violating policies.
And really, she only got lucky because of the guy who knew her and took care of her.
You ran. You fucked off. You are hot. Your fucking property is stolen. So yes, this is very much a sort of not unexpected reaction within sort of med tech groups, that when somebody starts prying like this, that one, you close ranks, and two, it's not unheard of for MedTech to send in evaluators to try and test groups.
But the benefit for Patty, she knows their faces, and she knows a hacker.
So a MedTech unit has to be careful that whoever they're talking to could theoretically be working for MedTech, because this is a part of the review process. This is a part of security reviews, is making sure they know how to keep their mouths shut. And they know that there's this constant sort of threat of corporate violence that is staring them down. So yeah, they very quickly close ranks. They're amicable about it, but they're very much sort of chastising about it as well. That like, dude, you could get us into a lot of fucking trouble. You know what you're doing. That like, you're not just an outsider. You know what you're doing. You fucked up, and it could cost my buddy his arms, right? So like, it's sort of that like offense, but also we now need to protect ourselves sort of modality that they've adopted. And so yeah, one of the dudes he's already like stood up and is like just walking, like he's just like, nope. And he just starts fucking beelining for the door. Two of the guys though are sort of like, still there. And one of the guys looks like he wants to fucking bite your head off. For even like try fucking up his night. We were having a good night, and so there's this one dude just fucking mad dogging you from behind these two guys. And one of the guys,
see, the fun part is the minute he's mad dogging her, all she's doing is grinning. Just kind of that cockiness that kicks in whenever she sees that violence coming at her a little bit.
Yeah. So one of the dudes fucking leans in and just sort of puts his arm on you and goes, I get it, but you get it, right?
Yeah, look, you get desperate, you say some stupid shit, you know how it goes.
Fair enough. We all like to relive the glory days.
Yeah, dude.
So
best time is you're in the middle of the fucking battle, heat of it, bullets flying everywhere, you pull the motherfucker out, manage to pull him before he bleeds out on the fucking table. It's like nothing else.
He motions to the the waitress and just sort of, and you have a good one.
You too.
Um,
She has been subtly recording, if she could, just their faces, see if she can keep track of them.
okay. Okay.
And as soon as like she leans away, she'll turn it off, but she has their faces. And just kind of eventually just goes off to her side, leaves them alone, and the drink, the round that she had paid for, comes up, and then she's just drinking by herself in the middle of this shitty ass hole in the wall, just killing time, and just very much the sunglasses are hiding where she's looking, but she's looking back at them, and just eventually she'll finish the drink and just gives a nod to them and then walks out. And as she's walking by, the camera will stop behind her and you see this brief picture frame. You actually see two picture frames, one slightly older than the other. You'll see a little bit more of a paunchy cheeks, a little more weight around the neck. You'll see this full beard as you see this. If you squint, you can see Patty. But you'll see her a long time ago. And she's kind of surrounded at this kind of this actually genuine smile on her face, as you can see, like, probably for the first time in that picture, a genuine feeling of belonging. As you kind of see on that second picture, you'll see several years in the future. You'll see her with her hair. It's not got the purple undercut colors, but it's got the pink on top, as it's a little bit of a hack dye job. You'll see the lines in her face as you can see the obvious wear of the night on her face, and you can see more of a confident smile, more of a genuine kind of grin, but not to see that same feeling of the past. And you can see, if you pay a long look at that picture, the look of almost fed up, as if she's kind of thinking in her head, from what this picture looks like, is going to be the rest of my fucking life. And the door opens as she passes out into the alleyway, starts to make her way back to the palatial, and has those facial recordings, and eventually will make her back to her own estate as her apartment, and the door opens up and she looks at that fucking whole violation of her home, her privacy, her bedroom. She looks at it. She'll get ready to crash, but then she'll just rip off part of that lighting, just has it, some of it hanging as she turns it on. Some of the words now itself are just kind of crackling as they try to show the image, but don't quite reflect it properly. And she'll eventually pull off her jacket and then just crash on the bed and pass out.
Who's next?
Who's still awake?
Caboose.
I guess that would be Troy.
Is Caboose awake to do this session?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I am actually starting to fade.
Okay.
You look like it.
Then give us you going to 2600.
I figure that's probably how the best way to end this session is. That is all right. It takes a few hours before Sabine finally falls asleep. There were a few intermittent conversations as Sabine prepares, watches a little bit more midnight television, seems to prompt Troy for more interactions and opinions on them, of which Troy has some intermittent ones. Troy doesn't seem to quite understand the point of talk shows. apparently. And then after about an hour, the TV goes off. Sabine finally gets herself comfortable and falls asleep. And Troy's vital sensors is able to sense the circadian rhythm she has fallen into, indicating that she has entered a deep sleep. And as she falls asleep, Troy's body goes stiff. And we find him on the net, walking down the path to the wherever he is pinged, to the location of 2600. And Troy steps through the void and finds himself at 2600.
As Troy steps through that void, we go to black, and the black snaps into focus. We see a social media feed, and it updates, and you see a picture of the outside of a bar called the Sunflower, and it goes to black.